This is Soy,
And this is Dyra.
and you're listening to Hair and Whatever.
Unfiltered salon talk. Hey y'all. So it's this is Soy.
Hey.
And this is Dyra. And you're listening to Hair Whatever. And today we have a special guest on, like always, every
Right.
week. We have a special guest on the show, and her name is Dowsy. And can you tell us a little bit about yourself as far as like what you do, where you're from?
Hello, everyone. My name is Dalsy. I am originally from New York.
Beautiful name.
Thank you. It's my grandmother's name.
I love it.
So I'm a teacher. I've been teaching for 13 years. And a little bit about myself. I teach.
And that's fine.
All right. So before we get into that, we are going to give our crown of the week away. And we are going to give that to Michelle Obama for looking so fly at the Grammys. She killed it. She looked awesome. We love the hair. We love the volume. But her hair always looks fabulous.
Yeah.
Always look fabulous.
Yeah,
looks
she
so
looks
good.
amazing.
Right. So
Shout out to the first lady.
That's right. Oh,
The real first lady.
Trash talk. Yeah.
And today we're going to be talking about culture curl experience, and the whatever is going to be, we're going to be talking about public education because Dowsy here is an educator. So
A lot of kids.
Yeah. I come from an educator, so my mom was a teacher for a
was
really
she?
long time. Yeah.
all right. So where are you originally from, like as far as like your background and
My family's originally from Haiti. Both of my parents are from Haiti. I was born in New York.
Okay.
So-
Passat.
Yeah,
That's what I meant.
Yeah, my boule.
Right.
Yeah, what's up? Yeah. So both of my parents are from Haiti, but I grew up in New York, Long Island. I was born in Brooklyn, but I was raised in Long Island. Yep.
okay. So where you're from? Like I don't think the viewers know where you're from.
So I always say originally from New York, but I've been in Atlanta for a really long time, so I'm pretty much ATL girl now, you know? And my family is so my mom is from New York, and then my dad is from Trinidad. And then we have some relatives that were born in Venezuela, too. So.
Okay. Do you speak Spanish?
I don't.
Dowsy, you speak
Poquito español.
you speak Creole?
I am not fluent. So my parents spoke it growing up. That was their first language, but we always responded in English. So I understand it, but I'm not fluent. I'm not fluent.
How
the way
about
I would like
French?
to
Because
be.
I know like that's another language that's
I'm-
spoken.
My parents speak French, but they didn't speak it in the house. So
I
I'm
see.
teaching I'm actually doing Rosetta Stone French, so because I want to learn the
learn,
language,
yeah.
but no, I'm not fluent in that either.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Man.
I am from.
Yes, where
hold
you
on.
from? Where you from? Where you from, D? Where you from, Dyra?
All right. So I was born and raised in New York, the Bronx, the boogie down.
Boogie
Bronx.
down.
Yes.
Right.
And my parents are from the Dominican Republic, so that's my background.
¿Qué lo que?
Yeah, que lo que.
Okay, so our people are from the same island.
Exactly.
We don't always show
Exactly, on the
love, but we are.
same-
I know.
The
Spinola.
same island.
The same. It's the same
The
place.
same place. One was
We all come from
conquered by
Africa.
France.
That's
the
it.
other one,
Yeah.
Spain.
Spaniards, right? That's it.
Yep.
Yeah.
But we're all from New York.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's right.
Shout out to New York.
House.
So have you ever worn your hair in its natural state, curly state, like when you were young, like growing up?
So growing up, I had a baby perm, the Just For Me.
Oh, yeah. Remember those?
Just For Me?
Oh, my God.
So I had Just For Me. When did I get Just For Me? Like fourth grade. I was so happy to get my perm and wear my hair straight.
Really?
Yes. As a kid, growing up before fourth grade, I always had like the little braids.
The little
and then-
pigtails
Right, little
and
dookie
stuff.
braids, they used to call them. But
Right.
in the bows. But in fourth grade, my mom gave me Just For Me perm. So from the age of like fourth grade all the way into probably middle school. No, middle school, I had a mini baby perm. And then in high school, I got a regular perm until like college.
You upgraded on the relaxer.
Got the regular creamy crack until I was in college. In college, I went natural.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how many years have you been natural? Now.
When did I graduate? I graduated in 06, so probably 05. So 05 till now. So is that 13 years?
Okay.
13, 14 years. Yep, been natural for 14 years.
All right.
So have you ever asked your mom like why she gave you a relaxer?
I think
that young
it
of
was.
age?
I think it was more so because I wanted it.
Oh, okay.
You know, you saw the commercials. Yeah, I think it's because I wanted it.
Wow, the commercials.
Yeah,
There
you
were
see the Just
commercials.
for Me. Yes.
Yes, I remember that
song.
now.
You know,
Just for me,
right? You don't remember?
No.
Yes, I wanted a perm. You know, as a kid, you never used to like put the towel on your head and like pretend that was your hair.
Oh my
maybe
God.
you don't know about that. Like, you never
No.
did that.
I did that to my brother because I wanted a sister. So I used to,
Put a towel on your head.
to put
the
a
little-
towel on his head
Yes.
and a little headband because I was like, I wanted a sister so bad. So I was like, you gonna be my sister.
Yes.
Wow.
I used to do that all the
I did.
time.
You was you bullied him.
I did. It was abusive. Sorry, Maury.
Yeah. But a perm, I don't know if it was just a perm symbolized, you know, we didn't wear our hair straight. But, you know, with a perm, you know, you saw the girls with the long hair. And I thought maybe if I had a perm, my hair would be long and straight. And I guess that was just the desire at the time.
Right.
You think it was because you saw it on TV?
Commercial, yeah.
Because of the marketing, right?
Right.
Right. How about you, Soy?
Oh man, I had one. Yes, I can't remember. You know, my mother could not do hair at all. So like, if you see like my younger pictures, like all of my stuff was looking like all like pigtails, like right here, like it was bad. I look at pictures and be like, oh my gosh, like everything would be cute except for my hair. So I think that because my mother couldn't do hair, she was just like, screw it. And so I got to relax. I can't remember when, but I did have one for a really long time, like up until like 1996 is the year when I was like, you know what, I'm not doing this anymore. And that was like 11th grade.
Wow. And 11th grade was when did you start going to beauty school?
99.
Okay.
Yep. So like I was like trying to convince all of my girlfriends, like, listen, this is like, you don't need to sit there and burn and you know what I'm saying? And everybody would be like, well, how do you get your hair like that? I'm like, I don't have a relaxer. And they would be like, really? You know, and they wouldn't like even know that that's like how you got your hair to be like that, because we would just always, like, soon as the new growth would go in, you know, we would always just like
2 months. You would wait, what, 2 months?
I would wait every 2.5 months.
And how about you, Soy?
Something like that, yeah. Yeah.
And then my hair started getting thin, and like my hair used to be real thick, and I was getting it permed, and my hair was getting real thin, and I just decided, I think it was senior year in college, I was like, I'm not getting a perm anymore. Yeah. And I think I remember seeing like a picture of what your head looks like because of all the perms. Like like you would have dents in your head because of the chemicals in perm.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Because it's like burning your scalp.
Yeah. So I just decided I'm not
doing it anymore.
And what about you? Have you ever?
Okay, so growing up, like, as a kid, I never got a perm. But, like, I remember it had to be when I was, like, 11 or 12. My mother put a perm, like, on my edges because I think I was doing my first Holy Communion, and she straightened my hair. And, yeah, it was just a one-time thing, or twice maybe, if that she put it on my edges. And she even, like, put the iron, like the real legit iron on my hair.
like you laid your hair on a
to
on an ironing board.
Yes, I remember that, like yesterday. Yes, to straighten my hair. My mother loved my curls, so she would like always like coil it. So it wasn't never like the thing that like, but she, you know, she always permed her hair, you know, since I could remember. Until now, my mother's natural.
Yay,
Shout out to her.
Right.
Natural.
Yes.
Right.
So yeah, I didn't ever like, so it wasn't like a big thing for me, honestly. Like I always embraced my curls. Like there was a time in high school where I always straightened my hair though. Like I always straightened my hair.
Wore it straight.
Yeah.
Right.
And that was because like I also was conditioned to straighten my hair because my mother embraced my curls, but my father kind of was like, you got to go do your hair in the salon.
Because
and
basically your hair being curls is not done.
right,
Yeah,
exactly.
That's not done.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
My dad.
It was like,
Love
when
my
you
dad
gonna do
to
your
death.
hair?
Yeah.
But yeah, even now he's like, that's too Africa. That's too Africa. Like if I have my,
just
because I wear my hair in a you know, like in a puff most of the time. It's up in a ponytail in a puff. And my dad, yeah, your hair's not done. Like I like it when
Wow.
your hair is flat. I know I like when your hair's straight. He loves when I straighten
And
my
and
hair.
he's been conditioned because in Haiti and in the Dominican Republic,
Straight
they've
hair,
been
yeah.
they've been conditioned to not worship, but kind of like, you know, all the Europeans are like gods, and you know, like, and that's what it
It's
was.
the European standard.
Right.
Yeah.
And
you
some
know,
people in the
of beauty.
Dominican Republic still, and you know, all over the country,
All
like
in the islands, all
everywhere.
that's everywhere.
they still straighten their hair, and that's like they find themselves prettier, and
Right.
you know, because you know, and all these brands also spend so much money on marketing, and you know, the person and on TV is gonna like, she's gonna have white hair, like
Yeah.
I mean straight hair. Everybody's I don't know if you guys heard about that anchor that got fired because she wore her hair natural.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, no, I didn't hear
Yeah,
about
I heard
that.
Yeah, so she wore her hair natural to work and she got fired.
Really?
I don't know
And
what.
2019 is just unbelievable.
Right.
Wow.
It's like, what would you prefer? What if we told all the straight people who, you know, straight-headed people, naturally straight, that they couldn't wear their hair?
straight.
Straight.
Right. You need to wear it natural.
You're like, you need to wear it natural. That's
Right,
not good,
right.
you know?
Yeah.
You're doing
It's
too much to your
unbelievable.
hair
You're
because it
doing
is a process. This is the way my hair naturally is. For you to tell me to do something, you're telling me to do something unnatural.
Right.
Exactly. This is the way my hair grows out of my, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. People treat you different. Like people treat me different when my hair is straight.
Really?
Definitely.
No way.
Definitely. More guys try to talk to me in the street when my hair is straight. Like people treat you
Wow.
differently. Yeah, definitely.
So amazing.
That's so
to me.
crazy. Oh my God, I got to tell you about my experience.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
My experience recently. I was out with Christian. We were out getting something to eat. Not something to eat. We were having drinks. Tyrell was in town that weekend.
Okay.
Tyrell was in town, and his fiance's friend came with her fiance, and you know, we have the shirt, The Future is Curly. So Christian was like, oh, what do you think about this shirt, this sweater? And he was like, he showed the girlfriend, the fiance, the female, the picture, and he was like, and he looked and he was like, those that's Negro curls, Negro hair.
Whoa.
And I was like, I heard that, and I went to Christian. I'm like, let me see the picture.
Wait. What was the picture of?
It was
a
my
picture of her hair.
of me.
Oh wait, so it was a picture of you with your hair how?
Just out. And
Yeah,
curly,
like
big.
with curly,
Wow.
with the Future is Curly sweater. I'm sure you've seen it on Christian's page.
Yeah, with your afro, like
Right,
curly.
yeah.
Yeah, you're okay.
Right, and I was like, let me see what picture you showed them. And he was like, I showed them this one. I'm like, that's me. You know, that's me.
And what did he say?
And he was like, yeah, that's Negro curls. And he was like, it grows like this. And I'm like, what? That's nothing but a cut.
So ignorant.
That's a Negro girl. What nationality were they?
He was black.
You were right.
I'm like, wait,
It be
first.
your own
and
kind.
his girlfriend was may have been Puerto Rican, Dominican, like she was light skinned, but she had like big curls.
She
Okay.
had looser curls, that
Right.
looser
Okay.
ones that will drop.
And but still, like this
still,
drops.
it'll drop, yeah, but it'll get big
Yes,
too.
it will.
you
Right,
know?
if
Like,
you
depending on the cut.
exactly,
Exactly.
If it's shorter, it
Okay,
yeah.
so when he was saying it, was it like implying like it was like a negative connotation? Like he was like saying, "Oh, those are Negro curls," or was
right,
he saying
like
it
his fiance was her hair was
Terrible.
better than
Prettier.
mine
Oh.
because mine was like up like this.
And I bet you
okay.
he seeks out those type of women too.
Right.
Like just because
I
of
mean,
the
he's getting
self-hate.
married. Hello to this girl.
Right.
Right. So it's just
So he was black and the girlfriend was Puerto Rican.
she had to be Puerto Rican or
Okay.
whatever she was. We didn't like have a conversation with them
Yeah.
until the end of the night where he just like rubbed me the wrong way.
Yeah, it's sad because people do feel that way. People look at, our hair and they, I don't know, they judge us because of our hair. What does that even mean, Negro
Yeah.
curls?
Right.
It's horrible.
Yeah, and
And
he's
it's-
black. You're looking at yourself. You're looking at your
your
mother,
aunties, your
your
mothers, your
sister,
sisters,
you
your
know,
cousins, like
yourself.
yourself.
Because one day, baby boy, you're gonna have
Your
And-
baby.
Your baby.
Your
might have
daughter.
Negro curls.
right.
Because, you know, it might reach back there
No,
and
but
grab
that's
something.
probably
Who
why
knows?
he married a Puerto Rican, because he knows.
But it don't
the baby's
matter.
gonna be
You
black.
don't
But he don't know what
you don't
was
know
gonna-
what you're
Yeah,
gonna get. That's
you're
the
right.
beauty of
Mixed,
melanated
yeah.
people. You know, you don't know what you're gonna get.
And
I
our
mean, you
genes
got
are strong.
strong, and
Yeah.
even you know we got like white clients that have curly hair,
Yeah,
like curly.
yeah.
You know, so you don't know what you're gonna get. So
I felt
It's just
so
ignorant.
like I to every day I remember this guy's comment, like, cause you know, to me, like, I've never ever in my life have been called.
What did
Like-
Chris say?
Chris didn't wanna, like, you know,
Go
entertain
there.
it because, you know, we were out, and you know
Right.
how Christian could be, like,
Yeah.
he could
like
be
I'm gonna let
Very
this fool
opinionated.
rock.
Right.
and he was like, everybody was just like, he's like, I don't even know why he would say. His girlfriend was embarrassed, like
She should be.
her face was like, you know, like, I can't believe he just said this.
But so many men, they won't admit it, but so many men seek out a certain type of
Yes, they
woman,
do.
you know?
They do.
Yeah. So did you have any like hair complexities growing up?
I mean, I guess yeah. As a kid, wanting that straight hair and like putting the towel on my head. Obviously, I had some kind of complex about my own hair. I preferred straight hair, and I preferred, you know, you grow up thinking your hair is unmanageable. You have to get the perm every 2.5 months. And that's not the case at all. My hair is very manageable, actually. and that-
Exactly.
Wearing it in its natural state and learning how to, how to take care of my hair, it is very manageable. But
Exactly.
you grow up thinking,
That is because the action of like, you know what, let me calm your hair down.
right,
You know what I
right,
mean? And
right.
it just seeps into your subconscious because you don't even really think about it
Yeah.
until, because the action of doing that is
Right.
like, oh, this is not good enough. Hold up. We need to put something on it. To
Right.
Make it.
And that is what you're told. That's
Mm-hmm.
I mean, love your people, but I used to go to your people every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Even after I got I went natural. Like you said, I was straightening my hair
Mm-hmm.
every couple of weeks, and they would try to put a little something in the
Conditioner.
yeah.
No way.
Yes.
I've
But
heard
they,
that
they would
before,
ask. No, they would ask
Oh,
you.
they would ask-
yeah,
yeah.
they would ask.
Oh,
me,
I've
and I'm
had a
like, no,
story
I
of
don't
a-
want. Yeah,
like
I've heard that
The story
too.
where they sneak
They
it in the
didn't-
conditioner.
I've
make it
never,
more
I've
manageable.
never seen that. Is that out
my-
here?
Yes, my one of my coworkers when I worked in another suite told me I saw this lady like she was like screaming up and down the hallway. And I was like, what's going on? So one of my coworkers was like, girl, she went to the Dominican hair salon and they put a relaxant in her hair and the conditioner and she didn't even know it.
Yeah.
And when I told her that her curls are not coming back.
Yep, I've definitely heard that story before.
I've
But they would
never-
ask me like,
Yeah.
can we add this? And I'm like, no. They're like,
No.
it'll make it easier. It'll make it straight. And no, I don't want that because they're asking you for. It's like a relaxer. It's like
Yeah.
it's not
I don't know what it
a
is.
full relaxer. It's like a what is it called? Like a texturizer.
Texturizer. Well, it's a texturizer is nothing but
Pretty
a
much
relaxer, but just kept on. It's the time of how it's kept on that makes it a
Oh, okay.
texturizer. It's only kept on a little while to loosen up the curl pattern.
Right, and that's what they would
Yeah.
say to loosen up curl pattern so it's easier to manage. And it's like, no, I don't
Oh
want
my
that.
God, that's so crazy. How about you? Did you have any?
Oh yeah, of course. Like like I said, like my mother couldn't do my hair, so I felt like my hair was always looking crazy. No offense, Ma. I understand. What you
What
was
did you say your mom
trying.
was?
No, she's black. She's,
Oh, your mom is black and your
she's-
dad is
mhm.
okay.
Yeah, so like, she just didn't know how to do hair. So my hair was just always looking crazy. So yeah, I had, complex about it. Like that's why I probably decided to grow up and do hair because my shit was always looking raggedy.
You think that's what it was?
I think so. I think so. I mean, and then too, like I was conditioned by the same media that, put out there.
We all were.
Yeah, that, straight was better. And And it's just something that we did. I don't even think that we even realized it.
Right.
Like it wasn't even conscious,
Right.
you know? Like it was just
subconscious.
something.
That's
it was
why
just-
they
you
make those.
just
Kind
did-
yeah.
Yeah, it was just
all your
just-
friends did it.
all your friends did
family
it.
did it. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just like this is what you do. You go to the salon, you sit there, you burn, you base your hair, and you sit there and you like, oh my God. And the stylist would be like, you know what, 5 more minutes, you know, I just got to get it. Because the crazy thing is with me, I would burn so much, like, because my skin is really, really, really sensitive, that I would burn so much that the stylist, by the time, like, maybe she got, like, right here, like, I was already burning. And she was like, oh, just, you can't hold up a little bit. And they would spray little stuff on it and oil sheen and all this other kind of stuff to just, you know, let it process. And then I think the last straw was, like, probably when I was in high school in 96, and I was like, you know what, this is crazy. Like, why am I doing this?
Yeah.
What am I doing?
And then how did you wear your hair? Like after you decided, like, okay, well, I'm not doing the perm.
So I didn't big chop. So I did like back in the day, I guess in '96, it was these styles where you had like flat twist, and it would be like flat twist into a ponytail bun.
Yep,
You remember that
yep.
style? And then they would do like the 2-strand twist and add the hair on. So I would just do little like protective styles. That
Right.
was, you know, protective styles. Back then I would do braids and stuff like that. And then, you know, eventually I cut it off. And then I would like 2-strand twist it and just wear it out big. And then everybody would call me Khalees and Maxwell. I remember that. They would be like, how you get your hair like that, Khalees? How you get your hair like that, Maxwell? And it's like, I don't put no chemicals in it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So how about you? Did you have any complexes?
I guess like the reason why like in high school like I started straightening my hair, you know, was because of like, you know, and it's done within your family. Like
Yeah.
your family does it where like, well, your hair is not done and your hair needs to be straight, and you know, like people don't realize I tell my friend all the time, her name is Jessica, I tell her like, well, don't express yourself like this, like it's not bad here, because in the Dominican culture like is like pelo malo, like you have bad
Good
hair.
hair, right.
And what it is bad,
Right.
good and bad hair.
Right.
Like just because your hair's straighter than mine doesn't mean it's better.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
to me, good hair is healthy hair.
Healthy hair.
right.
You know, like that's good hair.
say it all the
and
time.
let's just get there.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, and love what comes out of your head.
Right.
You know, before anything. You know, and so like subconsciously I did straighten my hair, but I don't think like then eventually I guess like because all until like Alan and all that stuff, I worked in the Dominican salon. I would always straighten my hair until maybe I don't even know when I was like maybe 7 years ago I started like, okay, well, I'm just gonna embrace my curls. And still like I didn't have a texturizer in my hair or anything, like, so it was still curl up, like my hair wasn't like completely like
Heat damage.
heat
Yeah,
damage.
mine was.
When you
Heat damage. 'Cause
I
was
did
straightening it
do
every
the big
2
chop because I damaged my curls from like bleach,
right,
because I worked from home and I was bored and that's
playing around.
playing around at home, and I wanted to go blonde, and that's why I did the big chop. And yeah,
Okay. And so, like, did you grew up with siblings?
I did.
So
6
what?
of us.
Oh, with 6 of you. Wow.
girl.
Bless your mother.
How many females?
4 girls, 2
Oh,
boys.
wow.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
damn.
Love my sissies.
And so, like, all of them, of course, do they have like different hair textures?
All 4 of us completely different.
hair
Really?
textures.
Completely different. None of us have the same hair.
And were there like, because I know like in some like situations, like even with our families, like people would make distinctions.
Oh yeah.
You know, were there any distinctions made because of hair texture and all of that?
So it was growing up. My 2 little sisters. So me and my older sister. It's my older sister, me, and then I have 2 younger sisters. They had curly perms.
Okay.
They had the what was that called? Like the curl.
like
kind of like the Jerry curl.
Right,
Yeah,
right,
they had
right,
the
right.
Jerry.
Was it curl
Yeah,
free?
curl free.
Free.
The orange. I think it was orange bottle.
I don't even remember.
Curl free. Yeah. So they got that. Me and my sister got the just for me perm. I don't know. It must have been the rave at the time. So my mom
Right.
gave them that. So growing up, both of my sisters had curly hair, and it looked, it was like that curly Jerry curl, and I
Like
had
the wet look.
right, the wet look. So it was like, why do your sisters have that good hair, and your hair is, it was different. I was
Right.
like, they have a curly perm, and
Right.
I have a regular perm. So I think it was looked upon as good hair, or you look. It kind of gave you like a mixed look. Like, why do you guys have different dads or different? No, we have the same parents. They just have a curly perm, and we had a straight perm.
Right.
But we all have completely, totally different hair. Even now, we're all four of us are natural. My younger sisters have. It's just different. Like, my older sister has very thick, dark hair, and my hair isn't and it grows very easily. My sister's hair grows like weeds. Then my hair was thicker, and I always had a nice length hair. Like, it what's that called? It shrinks, but my hair is like about down my back, and so I've always had longer hair, but it was thinner than my other sisters. My sister right under me, her hair was always like curly. She had that like, people thought she was mixed because her hair was just naturally curly. Originally it was from the curly perm, but even as natural, with her natural hair, her hair is just curls easy. She probably has, I guess it would be like considered 3C hair.
Yeah. She
3C
just
hair.
has a looser curl.
Looser curl, right. And then my younger sister, her hair was more coarse, so she had like 4C hair, and she always had shorter hair and very thick, and it was a lot lighter than the rest of us. So totally different hair, totally different way to treat it, totally different looks, but same parents.
Yeah.
Wow.
So.
And what about you? Did you have any?
Me?
Yeah.
Well,
Because you have brothers.
I have
too.
brothers, exactly. So, so I have two older brothers, and my oldest has, I would say like 4, because I would do both of their hair, like I would braid their hair, and my oldest brother had, like I would say 4 B or C hair, which is like like more coils,
Tighter curl.
right, tighter curls. And then my younger brother, which is the middle child syndrome.
I'm a middle child. What's wrong with middle child?
No, my brother is special, but I love him. We have the same, but his hair is thicker than mine.
It's thicker and denser.
Right. So my oldest brother would get perms before getting braids.
Wow, really?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And he was getting braids, but he was super
And
tender.
it wasn't even a kitty perm. It was a regular perm?
regular perm. The one that was
wow.
my mother was doing, like he was doing.
Wow.
The Revlon.
The Revlon box.
Yeah.
The
I know
Revlon.
they had like a blue, black, and
That's
red or
crazy.
something.
Yeah, I think it was red.
Yeah.
He doesn't still do that now.
No. He wears his hair short. And
Right.
Yeah.
I
But-
definitely used to give a couple of guys perms, like guys in high school. I would, like, my best friend who lived next door, he used to have me perm his hair too. Like, guys
Yeah.
were getting perms,
Perms too. Yeah. But
Straight Malcolm X,
he
huh?
still has that mentality to a certain extent. Like,
Does he?
but it's not, he's been conditioned that
Yeah.
way,
Yeah.
like it's okay, like, I mean, it's not okay, but
Yeah.
to each his own, like
Yeah.
his daughter's actually has gone natural and all that stuff.
Oh,
She was
that's
the one
good.
that cut her hair and did the big chop the
Chop,
same
yeah.
time when I did my big chop, and yeah. And
Hopefully
then
this will change, though.
yeah, and then the middle one, he's bald now, but he would always get braids too, and I would always braid their hair, and he liked his curls, so he wore like a little curly fade, and in the beginning, and then I was curly and then straight most of the time, during, like, I would say from like 11 years old all the way up until like 25, I
Right.
was straight.
So we just basically, just all of us had,
Different experience.
our own, different curl experiences, but it sounds the same as far as just the conditioning of it,
Right. Because I feel like we've all been conditioned
Yeah.
to
During the 80s, please.
Yeah.
That's all it was about.
from the
know?
beginning of time.
Oh,
since
yeah,
slavery.
yeah, you're right, yeah. Yeah.
Since slavery,
yeah.
like, you know, that's what you had to do, straighten your hair. With a hot comb, if the perms were in, you know, like the chemist hadn't exist,
Right.
you know, like hot combs, that's how you would straighten your hair.
I didn't even know my hair could curl until I started going natural and actually seeing my curl pattern.
Like if you didn't know that it was like, oh my God, like I have curly hair.
I have
Right,
curly
curly
hair,
hair,
right?
yeah.
Because you know it was always combed out or you know braided
Or manipulated some
right.
sort of way.
Right.
Yeah.
I love my curls.
Yeah.
How about you,
We
Soy?
love curls. What?
With your siblings? I know you have just a
Yeah,
brother.
brother. I don't think I don't remember any distinction because, like, with my brother, his hair was always cut short. Like, you know, like a lot of the boys,
Yeah.
you know, in our
Yeah, I
family.
do have two brothers too. Yeah, they were just
and
cut
it was
short,
just
yeah.
cut short, you know? And I
Right.
think that's why, like, consciously I love to, like, show my son's hair and not just cut it off because
My
I feel...
son has beautiful dreads.
Jesse.
Yeah, his
Yeah.
hair dreads on its own.
Really?
No, no,
He's
it's
a
not,
Rasta.
it's not dreads. And it's not
Locks.
dreads, it's locks.
Lots.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just let it just go, you know, because I feel like I want it to be a statement too that, you know, like his hair is beautiful. We're
Yeah.
not going to just cut it off,
Right.
you know, and make it look, you know, just, and that's neat. And that-
Presentable, right,
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 presentable.
right,
He is
right.
presentable.
Right.
You know,
It's
this
his hair.
This is his hair. This is how it grows.
That's how you, I was telling Alan, I was like, because he doesn't want to grow his hair and I want to grow his hair.
Mhm.
And I'm like, that's where you get your power from.
Right,
Aw,
exactly.
Yeah, that's in the
Yes.
word.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It
Did
you all
expands
see
out to the
that?
sun.
Did you all see that video of the boy that they made cut his hair? He was like on the wrestling team.
Yes, I did.
Before he could
Yeah.
wrestle, it was like in the championship.
They apologized for
Did
that.
they?
Yeah.
I didn't
It
see
was a
that.
thing. I
Yeah,
remember
they
that.
made him. They made. Did he have locks? He had
Mhm.
locks.
I think he had locks.
And they made him cut his locks before he could,
Mm-hmm.
you know, wrestle. And I think it was a champion.
Oh, wow.
And you should. I mean, it was just a lot, a bunch of white people in the room, and this boy was probably one of the only black kids in the, I don't know, on the team. There were a couple of other black kids, but it was just like, are they really about to make him cut his
That's sad.
locks?
There's a
off?
lot of little instances about that. And just like with you in the school system, it was one, like, I feel like it was overseas. I don't want to get the story wrong, but it was like a whole bunch of girls protesting. I want to say it was in South Africa. That the girls, like, the school was making them, like, not wear their natural hair. Like, they couldn't wear their natural hair.
Wow.
It was a few years back, I believe. But, yeah, it was just, like, a whole big thing, and they were protesting.
That's real sad.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why the school would have to be involved in.
And hair.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
you know.
So being like in the public school system, how do most students wear their hair, like the females?
So in my school, it's a predominantly Hispanic school.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's like 90-something% Hispanics. Most of the kids are from Mexico. So the girls, all the girls, are, you know, most of them have straight hair, and they always have these cute little braids that their parents, I mean, very intricate braids that their mothers do, like fishtail braids and all types of braids going into braids. So most of their hair is very long and straight. The black girls in the school, which is not that many, they usually wear their hair. Most of them are natural.
Yeah.
So, and it's funny because a lot of my girls, and I've seen this throughout the years, like some of them wear their hair like mine, and they're natural, and they'll put it up in a little, you know, like a little fro. So it's cute to
Right.
see how they see me. Like they might not have worn their hair like that in the beginning of the
But
year,
now-
but now
But
they'll,
now
I
they'll
love
put a
that.
little puff.
Yeah, that's
which is cute.
good.
Yeah.
Because we need more young girls need to see,
Mm-hmm.
you know, like someone they can look up to,
Yeah.
like, you know, Black
Yeah.
Panther, like that movie, like, you know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
kids that, you know, you could see, okay, he's black, and, you know, they got short hair, long hair, whatever it is, you know.
Yeah.
We
It's
need to see more
important.
in that, more of that.
And I'm just so happy now. It's like a whole generation of girls that's like
Natural.
natural.
Everybody's natural.
Yeah.
Everyone. Yeah. They're not even gonna, like, my girls have no idea what a relaxer
What a perms,
is.
right.
They're like, what? What is that? You
Right.
know? They
It's
have
crazy.
no
It's
concept
completely
of it. My
different.
oldest is 17.
You got a 17-year-old?
I do have a 17-year-old. She'll be 18 this year.
Wow.
Yeah.
And she's never, like, she doesn't, I think she knows what a relaxer is, but she's never had a relaxer before. So.
And has never asked for one.
Never asked for
Right.
one, never,
Completely different.
Yeah.
completely.
great.
But you
I love
also,
that.
you're a hairstylist, so you can do different things. And,
Yeah.
you
But
know.
even with her friends, like even, her peer group, like they're all
Yeah, 'cause-
natural girls
yeah.
now, like I think that it's made its way finally. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we still have a lot of work to do.
we do have a lot of work to do, especially outside of the United States too,
Mhm,
but
mhm.
and in small places here too.
Yeah.
Because even like, being natural, not me, but in general, and this is what we hear in the salon sometimes. Like, I always wear my hair curly, and we have a lot of clients that say, oh, well, I would wear my hair out if it was like Dyra's, or, if it was like a looser curl pattern. So to me, it's more like
we do have
loving
work to
what
do.
comes out of
Knowledge.
your head is self-love.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I think
Like,
the problem is knowing how to care for your hair because we haven't. It's been, I mean,
It's a new thing.
It's a new thing. I'm still
Right.
learning. I'm still trying to
Right.
figure out what works best for my hair and what works for you might not work for me. You have to really take the time
and invest
to learn.
And
about
we've
your
been
hair.
shoved. Now the marketing is like, oh, okay, here's a new buzzword. Buzzword's clay. Okay, so everything is clay.
Everybody's doing
You
clay.
know, like, oh, here's a new thing this year. So argan oil, okay, argan. You know what I mean? So it's like
coconut oil, right.
Like
Yeah.
all these companies come out and bombard, and then you got YouTube, and it's
but
just
y'all,
like,
y'all can get Royal Hair Goddess.
I love Royal Hair Goddess.
I love Royal Hair Goddess.
My bottle is done.
Yes,
You need
yes,
one.
yes. We love Royal Hair Goddess oil. But yeah, like all these companies have, hopped on the wave, and it's just
Right.
like now they have to decipher how to care for their natural hair properly. Now.
And a lot of people don't know how to do that.
They
Right.
don't.
grow up doing that.
They didn't grow right.
Yeah,
so.
so.
Now they look into YouTube and whatever, and they like, ooh.
I stay
And
on
even
YouTube.
on YouTube,
Yeah.
and even on YouTube, like you may look at a 4C girl or 3B, whatever it is, and you have the same hair, but the products may not work on
Right.
you.
On your hair because
know,
she
about
might
the
not have the
porosity.
density,
Right.
yeah, the
The
porosity,
right.
all of
All
that,
that, yeah.
it
It
counts.
plays a part.
It plays a
Right.
part in it, yeah.
Yeah.
So we're learning
We're learning. We're trying.
Yeah, we're
I'm
gonna
positive
have some
that
classes.
the curly, what is it? The future is curly.
Yeah, the future is
is
curly.
curly.
Yeah.
The future is curly, guys.
Yeah, and we're gonna have some classes.
Yeah, we're gonna have
Coming
classes
up.
coming up. Just to educate and just teach people.
Yeah.
And even have like just a hair routine, a proper hair routine to
Yeah.
achieve healthy hair, because that's important.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just like the
Like
basics.
let's forget about like long hair, having long hair.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let's focus
on
on
health.
healthy
Healthy
hair.
hair,
right.
It doesn't matter how long your hair, because that's another thing.
It is the length. People are just so obsessed with length.
Yeah, guys, I
'Cause
just had
that
to,
is
I
the
just had to cut
so-
so much off.
She did. She
I
had
got a
to-
curly cut last month.
Uh-huh. Dyra, you told me not to get a curly cut.
I told you, but the reason why I got this particular curly cut was because they said, "Oh, well, you can wear it straight and you can wear it curly."
And they told you you could, and it's not.
And I mean,
When you did my hair that one time, I told you I had just gotten a curly cut,
Yeah.
and you tried to straighten it, and it was all over the
Yes.
place.
And they
Right.
need to start telling that, because a lot of the people.
no, but they said, I asked
told you.
before I cut my hair, I was like, would I be able to wear my hair curly? I mean, straight? And they were like, yeah, you can. Like, yeah.
Why is they gonna tell you that? Because they want to charge you. How much they charge you?
They didn't charge me nothing. Honestly,
But
they
that
were-
curly
they were-
cut is
yeah, they were
expensive.
teaching.
It's so expensive.
And a lot of
Yeah.
people that's doing a curly cut don't even have curly hair.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
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 I
It's a whole,
mean,
it's a thing.
It
And
was,
it's,
I needed the cut, but
Barbara's been
it
cutting
doesn't-
curly hair for I don't know how long.
I loved my hair when
Yeah.
it was curly. Like it was,
Yeah.
I had a lot of volume and all that stuff. And no offense, like I'm not even gonna say who it was because
Yeah, okay, do your thing.
right, do your
Make
thing.
your money, do your
Right,
thing.
and she, her energy, I loved who she is as a person. But me personally, like I wouldn't do it again.
yeah.
I would
wanna
just get
be-
layers.
Yeah. I think that people just need to be educated about it. Like any new thing that's coming out, like that's marketed towards the curly hair community, just be educated about
Right.
it.
Yeah. You gotta do your research.
Do your
Yeah.
research
Yeah.
about it, so that's my advice.
All right, so guys, let's get into the whatever, which is public education.
Okay.
It's not like
Education.
trash talk today, but
I
you
know,
know, it's a
but
little
it's-
bit of educational.
Right. We know Soy loves trash
Yes, I
talk.
love trash talk. I mean, education could be trashy.
There's a lot of trash. in
There's a lot of,
education.
right.
That's true.
Clearly.
So, Dowsy, how do you feel about the public school education?
You know, I love public school. I was in public school all my life. You know, I teach in a public school. I love public school education. You can get a lot of people believe that you can't get a good education in public schools. You have to pay a lot of money to put your kids in private school, but that is not the case. There are good schools. There are good public schools and good public school teachers.
Mm-hmm.
So,
But you have to be like a good public school teacher because
yeah,
I know Dowsy love people. Dowsy is a great teacher. Like, she makes songs and all that. Like, I know.
I love teaching. I
Yeah.
do what I, you know, I do what I
She
can for the
really
kids.
focuses on like the children and wants to help. Like, not every teacher
Yeah.
wants to, like,
Teach.
really teach.
Right. I
They
mean,
get
you
into
summers
the
off.
teaching
You
is
get-
because
right,
the summer's off
right.
and the holidays off.
Right.
And it's a
You know,
consistent
cool.
check. And I mean, and then too, you like parents have to be involved. Like you can't expect
Right.
your kids to just go to school, send them to school, and then here
that's
you
it.
go for 8 hours, and that's it. Like you
Yeah.
gotta,
Mhm.
it's work. It's work
Yeah.
having kids. Like you gotta,
Yeah, I've been lucky enough to
Educate
be in a
them.
school where, parent volunteer hours are a requirement, and our parents are they're very they're respectful, and they want their kids' education, so they're always in your classroom asking questions. What can I do at home? And a lot of them may not be able to. A lot of our parents, they don't speak English,
Yeah.
so there's not a lot they can do at home, but they at least want. They want to help their kids. They want their kids to get a good education. So I can't speak bad about my public school. Now, there are some
Right.
schools out there, you're going to find everywhere you go, there's going to be good schools. There are going to be bad schools.
And what do you think makes that though? Is it because of the area? Is it the parent involvement? Because I know that there is, like, let's be real, like some schools are better because of the means of the community. You know what I
Right.
mean? So like
Right.
if you have a certain amount of means and a certain tax dollars that are going to the community,
Oh,
it
yeah.
seems like those schools might get treated just like a private
They're
school.
having a
because
fundraiser at
It's
my
like a
son's
social
school.
economic thing too.
And you have the parents who know what to ask for. Parents are
Yeah,
advocating for their
for
kids.
kids.
They're advocating for their schools. They know, to go to the board, and they're advocating for their school. So they're going to have a lot more resources than schools where parents don't know any better, or they don't speak English.
Right.
Luckily, my school is predominantly Hispanic, so a lot of the parents they're not involved in the what goes into the school, but we're on the north side, so in the north side of the county, they the idea is the north side is better than the south side of a county, and it's just parents that are advocating for their school. So
Right.
And that's a good point, because like I feel like too, like you don't really have to have, you don't have to be wealthy to do right. Like you could
Right.
still, just like with your neighborhood, like you could still
Clean
clean up and don't throw trash and wing
Exactly.
stuff outside of your car.
Right.
Just because you don't have, a certain, income. Like
Right.
poor doesn't equate to dirty.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or
And some
just-
people believe that.
Right.
I mean,
but that's why we have to do better. Also,
we have, yeah,
Mhm.
we
You
do.
know.
We do.
just as a whole.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And what about like this whole thing in public education? Like, do you feel like the teachers like teach for the test in public ed?
As an educator, I'm not supposed to say I teach to the test. However, when you start making, my grade depend on how well my kids do on the
Yeah.
test, you are going to have, it's hard not to teach to the test.
Yeah.
They tell us not to, and, the most correct thing to say is, no, I don't teach to the test. But a lot of times teachers are. I mean, if you're teaching the curriculum should go along with what we're testing the kids on. So
Right.
Yeah.
And then you follow the curriculum that's
that's
given
right.
from
The Department of Education, right?
Mhm.
So, I mean, if you are following the curriculum, you are technically teaching to the test.
Right.
Well, you would hope the test would be on that,
Yeah.
on the curriculum. which it is. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that if that's the curriculum. But you know,
But
the
I mean,
issues
but
that they
I think,
had.
so, because I feel like, you know, not every child learns the same. You know,
Definitely.
It doesn't, and not every child tests the same either.
Right.
Like, you
Right.
could be a really good student, but test poorly.
Right.
You know, so
And there are kids
Yeah.
that do.
yeah,
Right.
And it's sad because not all kids teach, not all kids learn the same way.
They
right?
don't, and I feel
Everybody learns different.
differently, and I really do that. One thing that I think would be great in education is that everybody has an individual education plan.
That would be awesome. It sounds like a lot of work for me.
It does
but,
sound like a lot of paperwork. I know.
Yeah.
It does, but it just seems like it just should be taught to the child, like the
Right.
individual child.
Right.
You know?
Right, or
Right.
group it. Like let's take a test to see how the child actually learns.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
like whether you're hands on or, you know, more like reading.
Right. More
And I
left
do stuff like
brain,
that with
more
my
right
kids
brain.
to find out, how do they,
Where they
how
are.
do I
They-
learn?
how do
yeah.
they
Yeah, but that's
learn.
what you do.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of teachers just like, okay, well, this is it, and that's it.
Right.
You know,
and,
like
there's
this
a lot
year.
of pressure. There is a lot of pressure for you to
Yeah.
make sure you're teaching that curriculum, and it's
Yeah.
a lot.
It's a lot of politics
A
and
lot of
bureaucracy
politics. Right,
going
right.
on outside. I know
Definitely.
my mother was a teacher. She used to complain about it for years
Yeah,
because she
yeah.
really loved to teach.
Right.
To teach. She didn't love all the other stuff.
There is a lot of other
Stuff, but
Definitely.
just
Yeah.
the teaching, she actually loved to teach.
Yeah, because
Right.
my son, like Alan, he's been like having such a hard time this year. That I decided, okay, well, I'm gonna stand up for him, and I am going to get an individual education plan just to cover his ass, you
Yeah.
know,
Mhm.
well,
That's what
to
I
cover
had
my
to
ass too.
right.
You know, so it's just like, you know, I know that he learns different, and you know, he may need more attention, or
Yeah.
you know, he may get bored easily, and so like, you know, and then now he's in a predominantly white school, so you know, whatever they you know, and in a more mixed school, whatever they like, okay, whatever, you know, like, and they're more helpful, because he was like, last year he was at Bria Vista, and this year he's at Sagamore. And then in Bria Vista, like, you would have the teachers who would want to help because they were black, and then and
They cared.
they cared, right? And then in this, you know, predominantly white school, I'm not gonna say everything,
Right.
but I don't feel like they care enough. They're just like, okay, well, this is it, and then this is what needs to be done.
Or
And
maybe they just don't
unfortunately-
know
how
how
to.
to. With
And-
your son, maybe they, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
if it's a
Yeah.
predominantly white school, maybe they a lot of the kids, and not all kids are the same, but you know, they're probably used to the same type of things.
child.
No,
And-
but
and
I also, honestly, I also feel that a lot of the things that the white kids do is swept under the rug, or because it's,
Yeah.
you know, they don't.
You have a little black boy, so they're
Right.
looking at him and things that he
Differently.
might. Yeah, they're
Right,
looking at him differently.
even if it's not on purpose, because
just
they've just been conditioned
that way. And it's unfortunate because a lot of our, you know, black and brown boys get, you know, diagnosed with behavioral disorders and
Right.
stuff like that. And a lot of it is just because they're not culturally aware. The
Right.
people who are, you know, teaching them are just not culturally aware
Right.
of how my child acts and all of these different things.
And
that
it
go-
might not be my child is acting rowdy. They might just, you know, they
Right.
might be just being boys. Now, I don't know what the situation is with Alan, but
right?
they probably don't deal with a lot of black boys.
Yeah,
at
no,
school.
I mean, it's not like I've shown like people pictures, like, look at his school like his picture, look how many, you know, and he's not, you know, he's my complexion,
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
but
He's
still.
the little bit of brown boy
Yeah.
right here.
Honestly,
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to put my child in that kind of situation,
Right.
just because I would prefer a more mixed,
Yeah.
diverse.
Diversity,
Yeah,
right.
even in my school, like I don't know if I would want my kid. I love my school. My school is a great school, but it's predominantly Hispanic. So if
But
my
still,
child
I
was
think
in my class,
still think that he can mesh there.
Yeah.
You know,
because
somewhat
of the culture that
The
he grew
culture,
up in.
right,
Yeah,
yeah.
The kids are speaking Spanish and my
Right.
language. Yeah, right. So
Yeah,
yeah, it just depends on
right. Yeah.
what the teachers are used to. I don't think it might not be intentional. I mean, I don't know the situation,
Yeah.
but it
Don't
might
try
not
to
be
defend the
intentional. They probably
teachers,
just are not.
Dalsy. Don't try to defend the teachers.
I don't want to say that
work in the
teachers are
public
just
school.
being, you know, racist. I don't want to call the teachers racist, but maybe they're just not culturally aware of how to
Yeah.
deal
We'll
with
say
Alan.
that.
We'll say that.
Culturally aware.
We'll
That's a new word.
Yeah.
No, you're not racist. You're just not culturally
Not
aware.
culturally aware.
Okay. Okay. That's what you want to call it. So
go ahead.
I was gonna ask her, do you enjoy like teaching in the?
Oh, I love it. I
Yeah.
love it. I mean, I didn't think I'd be teaching this long. Like I love education. I just wish they paid us more. Like I have to do.
I think I honestly-
Girl, y'all
knowing-
need some daggone sports sponsorship. Y'all need the NFL
Seriously.
sponsorship. Okay?
Honestly, like
Seriously.
we always say to her, like I think you should just start your own school.
Right.
Like we
And that's the
need
plan.
more Ron Clark Academies. Like I love that school.
It seems like a really cool school. I visited.
Yeah.
I visited it once. It seems really cool. I didn't get to see it on a like. It was on a late night, and it's. I mean, it seems like you see all the
my
videos
God.
online.
Yeah,
It
no,
seems like a
my son
cool place to
applied
work.
last year. Well, I applied for him, and he did get an interview, but he didn't get accepted. You know, because
Oh, okay.
it's like 500 kids that
Yeah,
get
Wow.
it's very
that
competitive.
apply, but only 30 get in.
Oh, okay.
You know, and it's not based on like it's based on your income. So how
Oh,
much,
is it? Okay.
how much you make? So let's say if you make, you know, maybe you'll be paying $100, $75. You know, like or if you, you know, it could be all the way like full tuition.
Oh, so
you
it's a
know?
private school?
It's kind of like, but
I
it's
thought it was a charter.
Is it charter?
it-
Yeah, I
it's
think
a
it's charter.
It's
school.
charter, but you know, still you have to pay.
Oh, really? I
Yeah.
didn't know that. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Is it charter?
No, I don't know.
So I don't know
Maybe
what
it
you
is
would
private.
consider it.
Maybe
So
it's not private.
If you paying, it seemed like it would be because
Yeah.
charter
Private,
is charters.
yeah.
You typically don't have
Because
to pay.
I heard him say like, you know, we have parents that will pay full tuition, and he's like, no, because he's like super. I love him. He's like, no, you're gonna have to pay. You gotta get accepted just like every other kid. Like
Oh, so parents
Right,
are
so
willing
it's
to
just
pay
pay.
the full just they
Just
just
to get
pay to
in.
get in.
right,
get in.
Oh,
and he
okay.
was like people from like
It's a process.
yeah,
you
like
still
from
gotta-
the head board, like to chairman or whatever. They was like, oh, you know, people would like write letters and everything because they want
get
their child to get in.
right. Because it's such. I love the school. Like I,
And is
but
it diverse? Is it predominantly black?
it's diverse.
Okay, it is diverse.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
like the kids. Like did you see the video for?
I've seen a lot of videos of kids dancing
you-
on desks
did
and
you
stuff.
not-
Like looking like they look like they're learning, but they're dancing on desks.
You didn't
and they're
see
having a
the
good time. It seems
Atlanta
like a cool place
for
to
the
work.
Super Bowl. You didn't see the one for the Super Bowl. They made a huge. All the kids. That Ludacris went to the school.
Oh, really?
Yes, and he gave all the students like tickets to go to the Super Bowl.
What?
that's
The whole
cool.
school went to the Super Bowl?
I think so. I'm
Oh,
not
that's so
sure. Don't quote me on
cool.
it. But I saw the video and they were like, "Oh my god!" And then they made a song for the Super Bowl, like about
that's
Atlanta.
Cool. That's cool.
It was super
Yeah.
cool. That's something that you
You
probably
did
do.
send me. You sent me an application to work there, right?
Yeah.
You sent me an application.
That's hilarious.
I remember. Yeah, I did see application. Yeah.
Because they were hiring, right?
Yeah,
Yes,
you
like,
said that they were hiring. You and Chris sent it. I was like, they really want me to work here.
I know it's so it's so funny because after I sent it to you, I was like, oh my god, they're hiring, and he was like, yeah, I already sent it to that. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I love teaching. I just wish they paid us more. I can't.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't see myself retiring a teacher.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think I would always teach because I want to open up my own tutoring center. So I will always work with kids, but
They don't
I
pay.
can't survive. I can't survive.
That's
Yeah.
why these young people not going into teaching because y'all ain't paying them. I
Yeah.
tell them. I always said they need sports sponsorships just like that because
Something.
I mean, you know, we,
Do they pay more in charter schools?
No, not necessarily.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, they have different like programs, like depending on how well your kids do. They have more chances to make more in certain charter schools.
Right,
But, I mean,
okay.
it depends on what the county you're in. I mean, APS makes the most.
makes the most, right?
Yeah, the cab. We're going through a whole compensation issue now. They told us we were getting this raise, and it was proposed, and it was approved, and we didn't actually get it. But you know, a lot of people in the head office got like 11% raises, and you know, the teachers
Yeah.
Wow.
got 50 cents on their check.
Oh,
added.
wow.
It's just ridiculous.
So yeah,
They
it's
got the nerve to be charging $1,500 for a studio apartment down here. In Georgia
Right.
now.
right. You
Oh,
know,
yeah.
the cost of living goes up.
Right.
Our pay needs to go up.
Yeah. Freaking slave wages.
Yep. I mean, they call us. I saw this post. They call us glorified babysitters. I wish I got paid like a glorified babysitter rate.
right.
You know,
Because
like,
an au pair would get more, probably
I
getting
would get
more.
paid. Right. I would get paid more. Well, 30 kids in my class getting $15 an hour for 8
30
hours.
Kids. I can't even handle
Come
my
on.
3. Like, just
Yeah.
30.
Listen,
And that's not with a para.
I be
That's
I
not
be
what the parents- they
upset.
took a
I
lot
be
of different parents
upset.
out of
I
a
be
lot of
upset
our
when Anne is off from school. That fake hurricane, not hurricane, the
Oh, the snow
snowstorm.
day.
Oh, yeah.
I know
Oh,
y'all
you
were
know,
happy.
Atlanta is
You know,
just
we were happy. I
infamous for
love
that.
teaching, but it can be over. I mean, 30
No, it
kids.
could be a
30
lot.
kids. I mean,
I have
that's
total
just
50 kids, 30 in one, and I have
this is what I'm talking
20
about.
in the other, and
That-
it's a lot.
It
And imagine
is.
having to make an individualized plan for each one of them.
Right.
It's a lot.
Yeah, no, it could be a lot.
They need to have smaller
Smaller
classrooms.
classes, definitely.
You know,
Definitely.
2 teachers per
Definitely.
classroom.
Definitely.
Yeah, I would say
Like-
15 per class, if that.
Yeah,
If
I
that.
do have help. I have a co-teacher, and I do have a teacher that comes in at a certain time to help. But that's
So
30.
so you teach fifth, right?
I teach fifth grade, math
Right.
and science.
So when you have a co-teacher, I heard is
That's special ed, right? I have
Right,
special. I have one special ed group and I have one gifted group,
okay.
and so
And so they just come in and,
Yeah.
work with the different students.
right.
in
So it's
those-
it's co-teaching. So we're not. It's not like he has his kids or he pulls them out.
Yeah.
We teach together. So
Yeah.
and he's really great. I have a great co-teacher, and you wouldn't know which kids were the
I
special
love
ed
that.
kids.
Yeah, that's good.
That's
all
good. So they
inclusive.
all come into the classroom.
Right.
And yeah. Because a lot of them, they don't do the pulling out
right.
anymore.
Supposed to be inclusion.
Inclusion.
Well, that's not always true.
I know what you're going through.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
not always
They
true.
needed to get it together over there.
Yeah.
Some kids do. I mean, some kids do need the smaller class size, and if you're in a public school, it's hard to do that. So they have to pull the kids. Like I get it because there are some kids who cannot work well in a class of 30. So there are
It's a lot of distractions,
right.
you know.
So they do pull certain kids. None of my kids get pulled. No, actually, we had a meeting last week, and one of my kids gets pulled now during math. So he's in a room with 4 of the kids. So it works better for him because when he's in my classroom, he's distracted. He can't focus.
concentrate.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Now, do you feel like there been any type of reform since now that we've moved to a more technology based?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Have the schools caught up with the digital world?
I think they're trying. Definitely. We are the push now. The little key terms are like STEAM and STEM schools. So science, technology,
It's arts.
technology,
It's
arts. Yeah,
arts.
STEM. I'm
I
like
know, I had to do
math,
that.
mathematics.
Yeah,
So trying to incorporate that in your teaching, and it's hard when you don't have the funds.
Yeah.
Like recently, last year we received Chromebooks for our school.
Okay.
And in the high school and the middle school, it's 1-to-1. So every kid has a computer. But in the elementary schools, it's 2-to-1. So they have to share one. So
Share.
it's not like the kids can take them home.
them home. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, they're trying and they want us to move towards a digital classrooms, but you have to have the resources to do it.
Yeah.
So they're trying.
Yeah.
We're not there. I don't think we're fully there yet, but they're trying, and they're trying to push more technology and math and science in the classroom. So I guess that would be the newest reform that I see going on.
Yeah, because they got to get, caught up to the world because they say a lot of the jobs that the kids are going to have are not even created
yet, right?
Like,
Right.
That's so
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, you hear about, and they try. I have to say they are trying because we do try to do career studies, so the kids learn more about the different careers. I know at my school, our technology person
that's
is great,
good.
and she introduces different careers to the kids. Yeah, because they hear about the same teacher, lawyer, doctor, but there are so many other
so many.
Right. Yeah.
other careers that they can go into.
many.
Yeah. How do you feel about homeschooling?
So, at first I did not agree with homeschooling. I just thought, kids are homeschooled, they're not, well-rounded. They don't know how to, they get socially awkward. And I'm not against it anymore. My sister-in-law was homeschooled all her life, and she homeschools my nieces and my nephews. And I can understand why, because a lot of times when you're homeschooled, you get to pick the curriculum, smaller class sizes. You can help your kids advance a lot quicker than you pick the curriculum, and you can help them advance a lot quicker. I saw this one program, or I was watching this one show where this little girl was learning. I think she was on Ellen or she was on something, and she learned so many different languages, and she decided what she wanted to learn.
Yeah.
She was learning a bunch of different instruments, and kids are resilient. They can
pick it up if they're
right,
introduced to it.
Right. They're like
That's
sponges.
the thing that,
and we're stuck to this strict
little
curriculum
that haven't been really changed since the Industrial Revolution. It's just like, I mean, come on. And then too, like you said, like the classrooms are packed.
Yeah.
You got 30 it's all bureaucracy, and they're trying to, the
Right.
test, and we gotta
You
cover
get
our
money per
asses,
kid,
paper,
right.
all this paperwork. So it's just like, you really don't have time to implement, like that individual
Right.
learning.
I would not be against
Yeah.
homeschooling my kids.
Yeah, we have
I'm
a
thinking
client,
about
your
it.
client that comes in. She has the young daughter, and oh my
Oh
god,
she's brilliant. It's like she's
Is
talking to
she?
me.
Yeah,
We're talking about, conspiracy theory stuff.
Yes.
On YouTube. Like, girl, you know about what? MK
Yeah.
Ultra? Really?
Like-
And how old is she?
She's like, what, 15?
She's in 8th grade.
Yeah. So, like, what, 14, 15, something
14,
In eighth grade?
13,
Yeah, 14.
14.
Yeah.
Had to
like that?
be
Yeah,
14.
very articulate.
Oh my god! Like I was just
Yeah.
like,
It's like I'm talking to
and
a
it was
peer.
her decision to be
get
homeschooled,
Mhm.
and her mom was against it at first, and she was just like, okay, well, because I've even considered
Yeah, me
homeschooling
too.
Alan.
Yeah.
You
just
know?
have to have the right support
right.
That's what I think,
in a
too.
community, because
The
it takes a community. You need to make sure that, because a lot of times kids, they leave our school and they're homeschooled, and it's like their parents aren't working with them. It's
Right.
like,
I
you-
feel like if I still worked from home, then I would have done it. But right now, like I'm just considered, it's
Yeah.
hard.
That's what I
Yeah.
was thinking. Like, it would have to be like someone, like maybe they have like a cycle of teachers. Like, I
Right.
can't do it because I got too much crap going on. But like, if I was to send him somewhere where it was like a homeschool community,
Right.
and the teachers are kind of like cycling.
I do, right.
You know,
I'll do
then
the math and I'll do science.
Science,
or,
yeah.
right.
And maybe I come in and I don't know, do
You
a
could teach them
demonstration of
something.
some hair or something like like
Yeah.
something like that.
Right.
But yeah, I
I'm
want
not
to
opposed
research
to
it more.
Yeah, I'm definitely not opposed to the homeschooling.
Yeah. Well,
All right, guys, that was a good educational.
yes,
Can you say, Soy, that it was a good?
it was good.
I know you
it
like
was
Were
this.
you weary of it? You didn't want to talk
No,
about
no,
it?
no, no.
No,
It's
she's-
just that like it's not like trashy. Like,
You guys used to talk about trash now.
it was like, okay, let's get a mature topic. Not to say that none of our other topics weren't mature, but
Yeah.
Education is important. And
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we talk
important.
about whatever. That's why,
it's whatever.
it's whatever. Like we want to have like a obviously we talk about hair and just the different, but I think it's important to have real people on the show
exactly
and talk about like real
Their
issues.
experiences
Right.
and their issues and
Right. Yeah.
yeah. So this was good. Thank you for coming out,
Fun.
girl.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah.
Yes.
I loved it. We had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, guys. So tune in on SoundCloud or YouTube if you want to watch us. Hello.
Yep.
Or on iTunes podcast.
That's law.
See you next week.